David, obviously haven't talked to you since the spring, since entered the portal, obviously. Just what was that experience like for you and coming back, and what's this offseason been like for you?
Honestly, the whole situation, a lot of personal things going on. I'm glad to be back. I'm focused on the season. Like you said, the off season was a big time for me. Had to get had a lot of things to improve on as far as like my body, technique, things like that. So we focused pretty hard on those things. And man, it's been paying off. I've been noticing a lot of things. Everyone's been saying the same thing. But big thing for me was the off season, and that transition time to now has been pretty big for me.
How influential was Coach Bates in kind of helping you go through that, and also planning out your offseason, like you said?
Yeah, man. Even last year, like I kind of knew what the expectations were. We had sat down, talked over things, and we really got a physical plan as far as what I need to improve on the run game. Focus on my pass rush a little bit too, and then as far as like just body weight and increasing mass, things like that. So it's harder to move me off the ball. So things like that, it was real. It was real to have that perspective and that goal of what I needed to attack it daily. And so during the workouts with Smitty, we're doing extra things. And after the lifts, after the runs, staying extra, just doing the little extra things that paid off for me. So those things, were monumental.
Over the last year, how much did just your relationship with Jaden and how much success he had early kind of keep you in line and spur you on to know that you guys can do it together this year?
Yeah, man, Jay's he's a hell of a player. A good ball player, very knowledgeable. And, just having that person, someone close to me, be able to pick game from him. Still little ticks and trips. It's very a blessing to have. And so, even our whole D-line room, Don Williams, Grayson Halton, all the guys, we all can sit together, nitpick each other, learn from each other, and it's all love. It's no bickering or anything like that when it comes to critiquing each other and learning or taking any game from one another.
Brent talked a lot about Dominic's just maturation, becoming a bigger leader within the interior group this year. What's that been like to kind of see up close?
I'm glad you asked that, man. Dom is a phenomenal person, and he helped push me, daily in those workouts with Smitty, those runs. It could get tough, Dom, I'm telling him, I'm right here with you, man. I'm right here with you. We're at the front, out there leading, running at the front of every run. Man, it's through like 320, and he's stride for stride with me. So it's like having him right there really kept me going and gave me like a perspective for something to aim for and compete with,
In turn, Dom said you've grown as kind of a vocal leader on this group too. Was that also part of your maturation of spurring this thing forward, saying I got to take a bigger role on the field, off all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, definitely. Last year we have a leadership club, and so I got to sit in those meetings a little bit last year. But this year was a big time for me, to fully step up and be that person for our D-tackle room and our defense, And so having Dom as like an older brother and Grayson Halton. Guys like that to lean on and get advice from, and also be held accountable from those people, something big for me. And they do it, daily. They always they're on me about everything. So they always tell me they see something in me that I don't see in myself. But it's just having that like an older brother there to keep you on track is definitely needed.
I've heard that you spend as much time or more time than anybody in those film rooms, meeting rooms. Why is that you spend so much time there?
I actually gave myself a goal back in, I want to say October. It was one of my classes, and it was an assignment, how can we better ourselves? There's something called a SMART goal, and so I wrote down that, I'll spend 45 minutes a day for at least 3 times a week watching film. And that little habit turned into something that became consistent for me. I don't miss a day now. Like, I'm up there after every practice. Like, even after this media, I'm gonna go up there and watch film. So it's just, being able to grow as a player. I feel like that film part is necessary. You have to be able to study the game and fall in love with it. You can play so much faster when you can able to dissect formations and the tendencies of the O-line and pick up on those things and help you rush the quarterback faster. Or, be the puller that's going across formation to get a TFL, things like that, like help you play faster. be more productive. And that's why I really fell in love watching film.
Are the rewards for that film study, can those only show up in games, or have you seen it on practice field as well?
It's definitely practice too.
Sure.
Like even from like Indy, like seeing the drills that you interact, and then watching those Indy drills transfer over to the team segments is something that I've been very fortunate enough to see. And you know, definitely having the practice habits turn into game day reality is something that BB preaches, and seeing it come into fruition is something that like is monumental, and I'm very grateful to have that type of, you know, leadership and advice to interact with.
You've got several guys back in that defensive tackle room from a year ago. Do you notice that? Do you feel the cohesion or the chemistry just from having played together, having experience in that room?
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's a true brotherhood. We do a lot more stuff off the field with each other. You know, last night we were supposed to go to the movies, but I think we're going today. It's like things like that, like little things, you know, just spending extra time outside of the football field. And then when we're on the field, we know that we really have each other's back when it comes down to it. You know, the twist games, the stunts, you know, when it gets down to the nitty gritty, we got each other's back, and it's going to be real love in between those lines.
What are you guys saying tonight? What movie?
It was a scary movie. I'm not really sure. It was
Weapons?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
David, during that time,
Last question for David.
that brief time you were in the transfer portal, maybe who were some people you leaned on for maybe advice in those times?
One person in particular was Ethan Downs. He was here, and I was able to, you know, sit down and talk with him a little about legacy and what it meant to him. And those, you know, that played a big part in the reason why I decided to stay. And then also just having like my coach, you know, Coach Bates is someone that I constantly talk to like throughout the whole process. And it was necessary, and I needed it. And having like someone to like I really trust and be able to help me and guide me on the path that I want, you know, in life, which is to play the next level, was definitely beneficial for me.
Thanks, David.
Appreciate it, man.